Well, it is good to be a man. Chapter 2 of the book, It's Good to Be a Man. Masculinity is very good. And yes, we know this. We know this. We know that masculinity is very good. Now, to summarize in the chapter, Pastor Michael Foster says that we need to go back to the beginning, and the answers are in Genesis for our current culture's masculinity crisis. There is a plan for humanity and for masculinity in the book of Genesis. It's key for our masculinity. Why did God create man? God created man for productive, representative leadership, is what Pastor Michael Foster says. God made man as his stand-in on earth after he created the universe and he set things in order. And so now man is to fill the earth and subdue the earth, have dominion over the earth. And God, in his infinite wisdom, gave man more aggressive instincts than women so that they can be rulers in their work and subdue and fill, meaning, procreate, fill the entire world. That is why men have, now get this, men have 15 times the testosterone that women do. Think about that, 15 times, not just 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times, 15 times on average the testosterone men have than women do. And so dominion, exercising dominion, Pastor Michael Foster says, is very good. Adam was given dominion, not just stewardship. He wasn't just to steward the garden that God put him in. He was to subdue it and have dominion over it and the creation. Even the ultimate, so this is a good point I thought Pastor Foster brings up here. Our ultimate male is Christ, the God-man. He makes a point that dominion was not exercised by Christ at his first coming, but, that was a good point, but at Christ's second coming, he will exercise dominion. At his first coming, he was the sacrificial lamb. That was his mission, to die for the sins of the world, right? And he accomplished his mission perfectly, but in his second coming, he will take dominion over the world then. So there is nothing shameful about your masculine nature. If anyone tells you you should feel shame about your masculine nature, tell them to get lost. That is how God made you. Desiring to strive and to overcome and to harness, that is a God-given masculine nature. Masculine nature is glorious because it images the glory of God. And that is why we should never apologize for being masculine. And we'll go into more about what that means. But he's defining it. We got to go back to Genesis. Masculine nature, subduing the earth, having dominion, being fruitful, multiplying, filling the earth. And we need a woman to help us do that. A woman helps us do that. Now, he does say at the end of the chapter, and this kind of leads into chapter 3 then, he does say, this is a good point here, he does say that sex is the engine of dominion, of subduing and taking dominion of the earth. Sex is the engine of doing that. Now, he mentioned in the first chapter that pornography and this widespread use of it kills that drive to be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, take dominion over the earth, because you are pacified by that. Also, when we think about that, also, I think we are seeing men in our current culture taking less and less dominion because the average woman doesn't want the average man. And if the average woman doesn't really want the average man, then the average man's not really going to try, right? That sex being the engine of dominion, if the average guy knows he just doesn't have a chance with the average woman, then our society is going to go downhill. There's a show I was just watching yesterday. I'm going to bring a clip in here of Aaron Clarey was talking about this. He's kind of a guy, he's interesting to listen to. And he was talking about this. I thought, man, if what he's saying is true, then our society, we are in serious trouble. Let me bring up this clip here.
It's very clear to young men today just how little interest women have in the average man.
Yes.
And now you are seeing men shutting down. There's also the psychological, ideological, almost religious aspect that has unfortunately become unto its own self among women, I'd say, where their value is how they don't need men, like their independence from men.
That's a brag.
It's a brag.
They're bragging about to the extent to which they don't need men.
Right, but I also think it's starting to become an increasing percentage of women's core value. Like, no, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man.
Yes.
And so you're starting to see a spiritual adherence to being not married as well.
Got it.
And then if they want kids, they can in vitro, surrogate, whatever else, stuff like that. But you're starting to see it go beyond mere consumption and economics to now spiritual purpose. I mean, we're like, how do you tell who the libertarian, the vegetarian, or the pilot in the room is?
They'll let you know.
They'll let you know, exactly. So it's, yeah. So I think it has also become reality in the economy, and people are now capitalizing off of it. That now there's a financial incentive. Now, how it, interestingly enough, with men, all economies in the past, all this thing, the electricity, you know who invented that? Men did.
Yeah.
Right. You know why he invented it?
Because they were trying to impress women.
We wanted to get laid. That's it. There's all of economics right there for you.
So Aaron Clarey, who's an atheist, but Aaron Clarey says, do you know why men did all this stuff in taking dominion? Because they wanted to have sex with women. That's what he says. I thought, man, wow. And he's saying now, and maybe this is true, that the average woman, she's just not interested in the average man. Man, and that, I think that's going to be, it's going to have serious problems. It's going to mean serious problems for our society then, if that's true. It's bad stuff anyway. Well, even with that, masculinity is still good, and Christ is winning. He is building his church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Until next time, this is the Postmillennial Man.